So the January 24th, 2024 regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen will come to order. We did just want to note that Deb Downey is unable to attend tonight due to a family matter, but we have a quorum, so we can continue. So we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Any comments from the public? You know, we have one student with us who won't put you on this dad, and there's no one else, so we'll keep going. I'm going to make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes of January 10th, 2024.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the January 10th meeting minutes?
No.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. So just under correspondence to know, we received an application from J.D. Fontanella, who's interested in serving as an alternate on Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Commission. We also received an application from David Lee, who's interested in serving on the Charter Revision Commission. And we also received correspondence from Cindy Ladwig, who withdrew her application for the Charter Revision Commission. So under appointments for the Housing Authority, I'm going to make a motion to appoint John Connolly to the Housing Authority. Could I get a second?
I second that. Second that.
Okay. All right, all those in, any discussion on that?
No.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. So also, sad to report, Paul Sarter has resigned from the Housing Opportunities Commission, but we thank him for his service on the commission. He helped in the early days getting it up and running, and he's very busy, so we're grateful for the time he gave us. Nothing under old business.
Under appointments, will we set a date for an interview for John Fontanella?
For J.D. Fontanella?
J.D. Fontanella.
So
Yeah, you just accepted it under correspondence, so it'll be at a future date.
Okay,
Yep.
great, thank you.
but not necessarily to do an interview?
Yes.
Okay. And is there just one opening on that?
Yes, but I believe there's another application pending.
Okay. Yep. All right. Thank you. Anything else? Not? Okay. So then under new business, so we have a resolution before us for the mill at the Marina Environmental Assessment Project. We have Jim Sullivan, our Director of Finance, here in case between me and him if you have any questions, Ben. But basically the resolution formally authorizes the first selectman to enter into, execute, and deliver documentation regarding the mill at the Marina Environmental Assessment Project. This was a $200,000 grant that we were awarded from the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development for brownfield assessment. So this is kind of a formal step we take as the Board of Selectmen to allow the first selectman to basically sign the official agreement with the state. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
And now, do you have any questions the first time we've done that?
Yeah, it just maybe a quick overview of the project and what the grant entails.
Yep, no, happy to.
What we can expect going forward.
This is a very exciting one. It's already been a lot of work, but it's very exciting. So this is for the part of the thread mill on Alpha Mechanic Street that hasn't been developed yet. And we know that it is a brownfield site. And so we've been working probably almost a year now with the one of the developers. Kind of a complicated legal situation, which is why there wasn't movement on the property for a long time, but now they've worked through a lot of those legal issues, and there's a new entity that is involved. And so they've been working with us to try and find remediation money. And so this was a first step. The state has this wonderful brownfield program. We've used it for the Stillman Mill site, for the Boathouse Park site, and now this site. I think those are them. And so this is a $200,000 assessment grant. So this is really just that first step of seeing just how contaminated it is, what's there, and how much it'll take to clean it up. But typically when you've been awarded the assessment grant, the state looks pretty favorably on then the actual remediation grant. They're a private entity, so they can't apply themselves, so it has to be through the town. So we've worked out a partnership agreement, and Jim, you could add anything I'm missing. You might want to be on the microphone though. So that way they can start proceeding with this.
But I think you actually summarized it pretty well, unless you have specific questions.
Does that partnership agreement play a part in this?
Yes, not necessarily the state isn't.
Are they a party to this? Is what I'm asking the developer.
Yes, because this is a pass-through grant that we're taking the money from the state so that way they can do the actual assessment work on their property.
And the state has reviewed our agreement with the developer and documentation. They, forwarded us documentation that we have to have in place, like consent of access by the owners, so the town and its agents can access the property to do the work. So it is a hand-in-glove type of situation between the three partners there.
And this is housing?
No, Lead Properties, and now they have a new name.
It was Lead Properties, and they formed a new LLC. Great, I can't rightly think of it, but.
Essentially, Lead Properties out of Massachusetts.
But it's the same outfit that made the presentation to planning and zoning.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
The same principles have multiple LLCs that they're doing different things under, and this is one of those.
Yeah, and so far they've been able to start, as you probably saw from planning and zoning, actually doing some structural work, hopefully making the mill last through this next winter and kind of firming that up. And then we've been working with them on cleaning up the site also. But
That's it for me.
great, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. I'm excited. This is probably a long haul, but it's an important first step, or next step. So the next one is an award of bid for North Pier Engineering, which we are not quite ready to actually move forward with. We had it on here just in case, but hopefully at our February meeting, our end of February meeting, we'll be ready to award a bid. But just to share, today, Jim Sullivan met with town engineer, grant manager, director of public works. Anybody else?
Town engineers, highway supervisor, public works director, my number two, and the grants manager.
And they reviewed the different proposals we got for the North Pier and narrowed it down to two that they'll then be interviewing, and we'll invite fishermen representatives to be part of that interview panel, and then hopefully we'll select an engineer for the first phase of that project.
And can you share who those are?
The four firms that submitted proposals were Race Coastal Engineering out of Fairfield,
He's working with us on the boathouse.
GZA out of, I think out of Stratford, Environmental Engineering Associates out of Stratford. GZA was out of Stratford, GZA was out of maybe Glastonbury, and no, it's Environmental Engineering Associates, DBA DACO. I think they acquired DACO, is my understanding at this point. So the fourth was, you got it on your email, it should be. But the two selected were Environmental Engineering Associates, DBA DACO, and Race Coastal Environmental, who are currently a vendor working on Mystic Boathouse Park. Both of those firms were very well qualified, so really what we need to do through our interview process is make sure we all have the same understanding of scope of work and make sure we have the same vision, and based on those conversations, we'll determine which firm is the best fit. But I don't think we can go along with either one of those. But we'll see how we interview.
What's the hope for timeline on engineering?
Well, this project is being funded by two grants. We got a $250,000 grant from the CPA, the Executive Port Authority, for the engineering work. That grant originally expires in June 30 of 2024. then the construction grant, which is a federal grant, expires July 31st of 2024. We already know that we're not going to make either of those deadlines. Our presumption is that the state grant from CPA will probably be able to extend that in 3-month intervals if we need to, and we will need to. And then the federal construction grant, we can extend that a year maximum to July 31st, 2025. As far as the schedule, that's something we really want to tease out in the interview process, because between the 4 different entities who submitted, they had widely different schedules, both for the engineering and work. So we have to really, that's to determine, really get an idea of what a realistic schedule is. But I figure it's going to take at least 6 months, maybe 9 months for engineering, and then 3 or 4 months for construction.
Oh, that's fine.
So the North actually has, we hope the engineering will prove that the concept was really repair work.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to meet that. But it's really exciting that we've gotten to this point. It was a long haul, so thank you, Jim, for all your work on that.
Thanks.
Hopefully we'll have more news in February on that. Could I, now we are going to move on to the use of Donahue Park, yeah? Oh, sorry. I'm going to make a motion to table the award of the bid to a future meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now we're going to move on. I'm going to make a motion to approve the use of the town dock for the Blessing of the Fleet 5K race on July 25th, 2024, and also their event on July 28th, 2024.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah. I looked through the application. I'm not, even after all these years, I'm not that familiar with the event, really. I mean, I've been, but I'm not intimate with it. How it operates, is it pretty much the same this year?
Yeah, the same this year, and it goes through us, through the Board of Selectmen, because of the fact that it's on the town property. It also gets approved by the Waterfront Commission, and then also obviously the Police Commission.
Right. But the event itself is the same.
Yep, it's the same. So it's usually there's the road race that they start there and then run around the borough, and then there's the actual event, which is usually just the actual parade, the march, and then the subsequent food down there. Very nice. Right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. This is a very quick agenda. We're on to comments from the Selectmen. Anything
And I'll
from
be
you?
even quicker there. Not a lot to report. Let's see, ADRB was canceled, Conservation Commission was canceled, Pawcatuck River Harbor Management Commission, I didn't get there, but I reviewed the minutes, and it looks like they're getting their bearings in the process of getting the harbor management plan entered into Google Docs that will allow commission members ready access and the ability to enter changes. Waterfront Commission meeting next week. ZBA, just reviewed the minutes, couldn't get to the meeting, nothing to report there. And Westerly Library, nothing really to report except that they're looking for volunteers for the committees,
Okay.
as we all are.
Thank you. I'll give just a reminder, also since this is our first meeting ever being recorded, thank you very much, Ben, for being a guinea pig on this, but hopefully this will go well. So I'll just remind everybody that next Wednesday we have our capital improvement program budget meeting, and we asked for all the departments to give us very kind of accurate assessment of the needs we have, with the understanding that they will have to get very whittled down. So I think we have a little over 12 million in SIP requests that we know between our meeting, we'll try and whittle that down further, as well as prioritize. But ultimately, the Board of Finance, working in partnership with us and the departments, will probably have to get it down to about $2 to $3 million. So it's going to be a tough one, but I think it's a very honest portrayal. Some things departments know we talked about, they can wait another year, maybe even 2 years, but we wanted them in there now to start being sure we're depicting an accurate picture. So that will be interesting. I'm sure other people might come forward with other requests at that meeting, so we'll see how that goes.
So,
Yeah.
and, sorry to interrupt you, but who will be at that meeting besides the board of selectmen?
So before it's like when all the department heads will be there to answer any questions we might have, or you'll give more information, and then the public is welcome to come, because it is a board of selectmen meeting. Yeah, lots of times some of the times we'll tell them, don't worry about coming, but if you have something bigger. So there's not a ton of them, but like the Como might come, they have 2 different requests, and
The library, not necessarily.
they don't know, because it's only the one of the libraries might come, because they have a SIP request. Yeah, so none of the operating budget, but, and some town departments have no SIP requests. Sometimes they'll come anyways just for moral support, but they might be busy, so. So yeah, that'll be that. That'll be really good. As we were talking about at the beginning, we had the RFQ for the North Pier. We'll be interviewing the 2 firms, which will be really exciting progress. The RFP for the boathouse closed today. So at the next meeting, we'll be able to talk more about that and share more information. We're working with the library, Stonington Free Library and Stonington Human Services on trying to set up potentially a virtual or in-person meeting on foster care in Connecticut. There's currently a shortage of foster parents. I don't think this is anything new, but we've been connected with the Annie E. Casey Foundation, and they were eager for Stonington to kind of help get more word out, education. So we're looking at both hosting something maybe through the library network in the community, but then also within our region, maybe through the Council of Government and other ways to really get the word out. We had myself, it was supposed to be a Board of Finance liaison who wasn't able to make it, but myself and our Director of Administrative Services went to the Climate Change Task Force meeting last week. It was a really good meeting. It was very productive. They presented it in some pretty fair criticisms and challenges of how much we're able to do as a town on climate and resiliency, but also came out, I think, with some really concrete steps that they can take as a task force, and then also some kind of homework on our side. So it was, I think, a good meeting. I'm going to try and be more present at some of those to kind of help move things along. But they're a great group, and they're definitely really eager, and they have a lot of different background and expertise. So I think it could be really helpful to meet with them more. Just to give you an update, I'd say the meetings since our last meeting, there's been a lot of meetings about drainage and flooding. We've been Stacy and myself and our new emergency management director, Captain Schneider, have been working. Today was the last day to submit to the state any, overview summary that the town maybe saw, as well as private property, from the flooding that took place and the windstorms that took place. Again, they're basically collecting it as a region, as a county, to see if we meet that federal threshold. If we do, stay tuned, there'll be more information to come. If we don't, then unfortunately.
What types of damage do we sustain as a town?
Really, as a town, we didn't see much. The town dock got a little bit, so they put something in. But most of the ones that we thought, which were over probably 20 submissions, were like basement flooding. It was private property, it was people's homes. But as a town, so far, knock on wood, everybody checked pretty good our roads, our bridges. We didn't see anything. Not to say that the increased storms and problems aren't slowly eating away at things, but nothing major to report from those storms on the municipal side, but private property, there were impacts. So we'll see, obviously like Norwich and Basra, other towns saw more impact, so they'll all be included in that. We might meet a threshold, and then we'll continue to work with the
This would
state.
be like federal disaster.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens with that, but we kind of got a last minute word on that and then pulled together to get a survey out to residents. Again, we've said this to people, any help you can do, or anyone listening. If you did not get an email from the town on last Friday, that means you're not signed up to get town news. On the website, people can pick and choose. You can get minutes, agendas, anything right to your inbox. At a minimum, I really emphasize that people should at least sign up to get town news, because that's where we'll put out things like that. We also put it out on social media. We do our best to share things, but the town news part of the website is pretty basic. We try not to overdo it, but important things like that will go out there. So just a good way to stay in touch. Like we talked about the last meeting, though, we are trying to look at an investment in sort of app, if you will, that will help us communicate better, the way some other towns do. So we're continuing to progress on that. And then maybe, so yeah, a lot of meetings about drainage, meetings about mental health. I will say the superintendent of schools, myself, the director of human services, and police chief had a meeting today. It was really productive. We're just talking about the increased needs that we're seeing across a range of issues, from senior elder issues to mental health across the community of all ages to issues within the school, at the high school, and different areas of kind of support. So we're continuing those meetings and conversations, and hopefully at our next meeting I'll have some more updates on kind of some proactive planning we're trying to do on that front. So I'd say maybe I'll stop there. You were at our POCD meeting that we have kind of quarterly, and so I'd just say, I guess, to anybody listening, since you've never done this, just don't hesitate to reach out to us at Town Hall. We're always there, happy to make a meeting and talk more about anything you see or have questions with. And I think that's it.
Probably a good time to mention, I won't be here on the 27th. I know that's interviews with our commission. Perhaps I can call you.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. We can definitely do a call-in or even a video if you want to do it.
Yeah.
It's good. No, it's only listening. Okay, if nothing else, I will say we are adjourned. Quick meeting.